Aye, aye, the big ribeye. Look at this beautiful piece of meat. I had my butcher cut me an extra thick. Again, I said my favorite cuts are ribeyes, T-bones, and porterhouses, but this big daddy cannot get cooked without this big daddy. And this is my granddaddy. I love to barbecue, and today it's really simple with grill tops and in-home grills as well as the outdoor barbecue. But my favorite way to do it just for me with a party for one is with a really hot cast iron skillet. I'm just gonna put this back on my burner and I'm gonna turn that on high. And I'm gonna show you how I season my steak. Take your wonderful fresh piece of steak with your immaculately clean hands. And I like 3 to 4 things. The first thing is crushed garlic, and I just buy it prepared. I don't bother with that up with a party for one. I do both sides. Notice that I'm still keeping a dry hand in place, and get the bone in the edges because all of that cooks, and that's where the flavor is. Then heavy amounts of celery. I like to pat that in. Then we're gonna do some cracked pepper. I like using red, white, and green peppers, and it's really important to pound all of those ingredients right into the steak. Let's flip it over. We're gonna pepper that. I wanna see black on that piece of red meat. I like to call it black and blue. In fact, there are several places in the world that when you order a steak, it can be à point. If it's French, it can be rare, but black and blue really just means black on the outside and blue on the inside. Olive oil, both sides. We already have some oil in the pan, but once this hits that hot sear, all the fats are gonna come out. It's this easy, watch this. Granddaddy, here is a piece of love into that pan. So super high heat, look at that. Right when I see it browning around the edge of the fat, that's when I pick it up and turn it over. Now we're gonna finish this in the oven, and you may wonder why I'm recommending that, but in fact, in the best steakhouses, what they do is they grill it on the stovetop or they pan sear it, and they finish everything in the oven. This way you really get to control the doneness and what I'm looking for. I personally like a rare steak, and the secret to that, I've taught you this before, is to just grab your thumb and right here in the middle, if you push right here, that's rare. If you push right there, that's medium rare. And if you grab it right there, that's done. That's how you tell the doneness. So as I push that, I know that this is gonna take probably just about 4 minutes at a 400, 450 degree oven. I'm gonna pop it into the oven. I can predict that this is gonna be at the exact doneness I'm looking for, and it is. Watch that bounce, can you see that? That is a rare steak. It's gonna be perfectly cooked on the outside. And one of the main secrets that you have to remember, Granddaddy did not fail me again, is to let that meat rest. And I like to just let it sit right on my block. I'm gonna take my skillet back to the stove, and this is where my pan sauce comes in. I like a little sauce on my steak. I'm gonna use another hunk of butter. A little bit more olive oil just to give me some consistency. All the flavor, those brown bits at the bottom, is exactly what we're looking for. And then with a wooden spoon, which I like to deglaze with, we are gonna deglaze this pan nice and hot with some beautiful white wine. There we go. Stand back. Oh, these flavors are perfect. I'm gonna let that sit for probably about 1 minute. Fresh cracked pepper. Now we gained all the herbs and spices that were on the steak when it went in. I personally like a lot of pepper. In fact, I love a steak Diane and even a pepper steak. Right when it begins to froth on the top, that's usually when I know it's done. You wanna taste this. I do this all the time, but be careful it's hot. That's great. We have the butter, we have the garlic in there and the pepper. Let's move this off to the side because we're just gonna top our steak with it. I just put my big ribeye right on there, and I actually use my grandparents' carving set. I wanna just cut into that before I sauce it and show that to you. That is a perfect medium. Look at that in the middle, nice and rare on the inside. Let's see if Granddaddy's skillet served me well. And I sauce all over that. Oh, favorite meal, a great beautiful ribeye steak. I'm gonna cut into that. I don't quite know what to start with first, but I think the steak is calling my name right now. Eating with my grandparents' utensils. I know it's a little, like I said, Fred Flintstone, but our steak is perfectly seasoned. That's great, and that's perfect with the steak. See you next time when I'm entertaining the world, one table at a time.